Hey everybody, this is Tazlon for Drop Top Tees. We're here today at Circuit of the Americas to run some parade laps in front of the NASCAR weekend. The red portion of the track you see is the portion they have set up for the NASCAR track. So we'll get to do 15 out of the 20 full course turns, and we end up with 16 turns overall. This event's sponsored by Speedway Children's Charities. Since 1982, they've distributed over $82 million to children's charities around the country. They do things like the Laps for Charities, live auctions, karting, golf tournaments, skeet shooting, and all kinds of other things to raise money. They focus mainly on NASCAR tracks, and I think they have 11 chapters around the United States. So, here we are in the parking lot. We're just waiting our turn to go out on the track. We got there early. The parade laps ran from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, and so we were there. We were the second group to go out, and we're just giving you a look at the cars that were there with us waiting. I think Corvettes and Porsches were the most popular cars and most numerous cars there. Second most were Audis and Mustangs. We were the lone Italian car that we saw. However, the event went on for another hour and a half after we left the track, so who knows what came after us. That yellow and black Mustang you saw just a second ago, when it came time to go on the track, they couldn't start. They had to get a jump. They made it out on the track, but they got a little bit of a delay. Jennifer's doing the video here. Some of the cars you see show up kind of surprisingly. As you'll see, we opted to make another donation. We got a little bit of a discount, and we went out a second time. And we were with either a 55 or 56 Bel Air, which isn't really known for its cornering ability, which became apparent out on the track. But it was a really nice looking car. Hey, that's some crazy person there. There's a nice Audi up here on the right. Hello.
Hello.
And one of the Roadster there, BMW coming up. And they let it be known that they are TU fans.
Good morning.
And just about this time, the cars on the first row started firing up their motors, and they were getting ready to head out. I was trying to get Jennifer's attention to get back to the car, because I didn't know how soon afterwards we'd get to go out. So I'm trying to wave my arm at her. She doesn't see me yet. You can see other people running back to their cars. I think she finally figured it out. And after just a short wait to let the first group get a head start, we went out. And we're going to go down an access road onto the road that runs around the track. Right here, we stopped and waited for a couple minutes. And now we're headed out on the track. I didn't want to show you the wait time because of the fact that they have these large speakers playing music. And so it was kind of, we were right in front of a speaker. It was kind of loud. So right now we're going really slow because we're letting everybody get through that narrow entrance to the track. We're actually somewhere around, I don't know, turn 14 or 15. We came out kind of 3/4 of the way around the track. It's to wait for everybody to get out here. And now we're going to start speeding up. Now these are parade laps, so you aren't allowed to pass. You're not allowed to hang back and try to go fast with the gap you create. And they say that if you do that, they will halt everybody and kick you off the track. I don't know. I've never tested the theory. I know you'll see in the second round that the far ahead of us, you couldn't even see it. So, but they were going fast enough that if you were really bad or not paying attention, you could have lost control of your car in certain turns. Because some of these turns are pretty tight. We didn't get to go around the biggest hairpin, but we still got some tight turns. We're going past the main grandstand. We just passed the start-finish line. You can see at the end of this straightaway, which I think is the maybe second longest straightaway on the course, maybe third. There's a uphill section with a greater than 90-degree turn to the left. This would be really fun to drive on hot laps and get to go as fast as you want. Overall, the track is very nice, as you would expect with the F1 NASCAR track. Very smooth surface, well maintained.
This Corvette driver doesn't know what he's doing.
We've already decided the Corvette drivers like wasting the ability of the Corvette here. And now we're basically going down the, I guess what you'd consider the back side of the track. And just a series of slow sweeping turns. It turns into more of a chicane here. And right up here we're going to turn to the left, which is the cutoff that the NASCAR is choosing to use. Where the fence is over to the right there, you can turn to the right and continue around the regular portion of the track if it was an F1 race. And the turns, back and forth, left, right turns get much more severe there. And now we're back out on the main stretch. We'll have to go past some of the big bleachers. And we're going to enter a series of really sharp turns. They aren't hairpin, but you get to almost do 180s for a series with straightaways in between. If you've ever thought about going out onto a track, but you're not really certain whether you want to get into a live racing situation, these are great ways to get your car on the track and kind of get a feel for what it's like to be out there. Even though you're not racing, you gain a much greater appreciation of the drivers who do and what they're going through. Because remember, if it was live, if it was hot laps, you'd have cars in front of you, behind you, potentially beside you on both sides, going down straightaways and coming into turns. So, but this is a relatively risk-free way to get your car out onto the track and get to experience at least a little bit of what it's like, or just to drive around the track yourself. And now we're headed back to the parking lot, going past a lot of the haulers. NASCAR, IMSA, and Xfinity were all there for NASCAR weekend. About 5 hours after we stopped, IMSA was going to do practice laps, and then Xfinity was doing practice laps and then qualifying laps in the evening. We had a 4-hour drive to get there, so we turned in, paid another donation to get to go out again. They gave us a discount.
Hello.
And we're sitting here. I turned off the sound because of the stupid music, but you'll see this golf cart. We sat here for over 5 minutes. We were wondering what was taking so long. This guy drives up, jumps out with a camera, walks back to us and asks if he can take a picture of our car. As soon as he took some pictures, he got in the golf cart and we got on the track.
You can't go around these turns.
So I don't know why they stopped to get a picture of our car. It's the only car they took a picture of. So for somebody who liked our car. So I guess we represented Italians well. And now you can see the Bel Air, a couple cars in front of us. I think 3 cars in front of us, yeah. And it's a gorgeous car. It can go fast straight, but it can't corner. And that becomes apparent really quickly.
Look at it. You can't do it.
It ended up working out to our advantage, though, as you'll see here in a little while. That little black car is all over his butt. Because the black car, I'm pretty certain, has been on a track before. You can kind of tell by the lines they take going to the turns. wanted to run hat laps on this track for a long time, but they only offer a few opportunities a year. And so far, I haven't been able to have my schedule lined up with when they do it. Hopefully someday I'll do it. Jennifer bought me this as a Valentine's Day present because she knows I've always wanted to get on Coda. So it's nice having a wife that gives you presents like that. I don't know if we can still see him. It won't be long until the pace car and then one or two cars behind him have disappeared. We can't see him at all.
I don't even know where the pace car
Yeah, Jennifer just said, I don't even know where the pace car is.
So far back behind him.
He's like way gone. They really do go fast enough that you have to pay attention to your driving if you stay up with them. But at the same time, unless you're totally incompetent, you're not really risking your vehicle at all. It just gives you a little bit of a fun drive. Right now it's kind of because we're going slow. But as I said, it turns out to be an advantage here in a while.
So I know the guy in that black car knows how to drive.
Now, if you were doing a track day or something like that, this car in the white would have had his hand out the window waving for me to go around. And if he didn't, after a couple straightaways, they'd blue flag him and order him to let me go by. But on parade laps, that doesn't happen. I think here in a little bit, there they are. The lap car actually slows down and lets us catch them back up because there's no way we're catching them unless they slow down. And here in a little bit, we're right behind them for a short time, and then they run away from us again. Because even though we're at the start-finish line and we should get off the track right up here at this tower, we go around again. They gave us another lap, which was awesome. Slowed the field down enough that we've pretty much caught back up. We're at least in contact with him. But it repeats itself as soon as we hit this turn. We start falling behind and he ends up out of sight here before too long.
Do they even have those
The track
spotters out
itself
for
is
us?
gorgeous.
No,
It's
right.
a really nice looking track.
Yes.
The surrounding countryside and what you can see from the track,
Well, if we had a flag,
not
we'd have
necessarily
people
pretty.
out, 2 or 3.
but if you're just
Stations
focused on the
like
track,
that,
it's
we
like,
might
yeah,
get
it's a nice
flagged.
track. It's fun to drive. It just makes me want to get on it
They're letting us do
in
another lap, honey.
hot track situation even more.
I wish they'd make that Chevy get off the track and go back.
And this is somewhat prophetic
This would be fun without having him to slow
because
us down.
just up here in a little bit, he does precisely that. He pulls over to the left and lets everybody go by him.
He's like out on a Sunday
There he
stroll.
goes. He just pulled off.
Did he just pull off?
Yep.
Hopefully he didn't break
On the
down. I
roll
didn't
call?
see if he finished or if he had a problem or what. And now we get to have a little bit of fun because we have a huge gap
I really
between
hope
us
that
and the pace car.
in front of you can drive.
If the white CRV wouldn't have been between us or whatever it is, some kind of Honda, this would have been really sporting because that black car and I could have played a lot and catch it back up. I don't know what the black car was. but he was low. I don't know if he daily drives it or not, but he has that car dropped a lot. I don't see how he could get over a speed bump without bottoming out his car. So I don't know if he's a purpose-built track car or if he just is really, really careful over speed bumps or what. He was low. And we're catching back up. We're coming around the turn where we started the track, so when we get up here to the start-finish line and then up the hill, we'll exit the track and we'll be done. Hopefully you like the look at Circuit of Americas. This is the NASCAR version of it. They skip a portion of the track that has the tightest hairpin and the longest straightaway. So
Well, this was worth the extra money, even though we do have bad drivers right in front of us every time.
I guess I jumped the gun. We're just entering the start-finish line area right here. And now we're going to exit the track up by that tower.
Where?
On the sides.
Oh, I don't know.
And I'm doing this video on Sunday morning, so they're racing later today. I'll definitely be tuned in. If you want to check it out and see if there's any similar events in your area, you can go to speedwaycharities.org. And remember, there's other organizations that do similar things. So even if Speedway isn't at one of your tracks, local tracks, there are other organizations that do similar type events. So you may want to check with your local tracks and see if they do anything like that there. And if you've never been on a track but want to actually race on a track, this is certainly a way to whet your appetite and make you want to even more. And if you don't want the risk associated with having your car out actually racing, this is a great way to sidestep that risk and still get your car on the track. Definitely worth checking out. There you have it. We're going to proceed to go home. I would have loved to stay and watch some events, but the ticket office for other activities didn't open for another almost 5 hours from now, and we have a 4-hour drive home that we're about to embark on, so we didn't want to wait and see what we would be able to do. It looked like it was just going to be a couple practice sessions and then qualifying late in the evening. So in I think April 5th, we're going to get to do this at Texas Motor Speedway right here in Dallas. And in Fort Worth, we won't have to have a long drive home, so hopefully we can stay and we'll see what else we get to do over there. I don't think that's what the NASCAR weekend is, so we'll see. So we hope you had a good time. Teslon for Drop Top Tees. See you on the track, guys.